Hi, it's Michelle from Movement Lesson. In this video, we're working with a young lady, a little girl that has cerebral palsy, but she also has esotropia, hypertropia, and things going on with her vision. I really want you to pay attention to this video. Why? Because her brother's also here. Not only are I going to show you how to stimulate her peripheral vision despite the esotropia and the contraction she has in her eye muscles, but also we're bringing her brother out. Her brother is just about 9 months old, and you'll see his response to the same things visually. You really shouldn't have to teach your child how to see, but when you have to teach your child how to see, Movement Lesson really offers you those tools that you can introduce vision to your child despite their muscle condition as well as their visual condition. A lot of kiddos that have processing issues have what's called cortical visual impairment. However, typically kids with cortical visual impairments, the last thing that is their best friend is really themselves. And her eyes are just so much stronger right now, just looking into that mirror and just exploring herself. I'm telling you right now, Graham's CVI is at a 10 now. My son, he can't look in the mirror to save his life. It's probably the only way he can look at me, though. He cannot look at me like this, but when he and I are together and standing in front of a mirror, that's the only time he can see me versus doing that direct eye contact. But really, she hasn't tried to avoid Diane's visual conversation or social conversation, and even though she needs a lot of visual help, I really wouldn't use techniques of CVI other than keeping it simple, for her visual success as part of her program.
I mean, it's
see now how she's trying to make toys happen? That again is a much more sophisticated talent, where she's trying to put the beads on and do those kind of things. So when a child now can take an object and now turn it into something else, that is also a visual maturity. That is a way of working with something, or she's trying to share or help me, like she just did with Diane. That is a much higher level of processing visually and also cognitive, which is a great sign. Now, not having depth perception, she's also not going to have depth perception of self, so the beads coming up over her head would be a novel idea. Depth perception happens in self, and that's where when the pinky can come over the thumb, I have depth perception. When the thumb can only come over the pinky, then depth perception is an issue. So that's why when I see two kiddos walk and stuff and I see the hands like this kind of thing, or they're out, but they're not articulating over, I know they have depth perception issues.
You know what?
From
That's
behind.
Interesting. We've been working on using a spoon like this
Yeah.
for a year and a half.
Yeah, that's why it's the eyes. And that's what people don't understand. So she doesn't have depth perception here, why would she have it here? When you're stirring something, you're not using the spoon.
Either.
She can't get into the stuff. The pot's there, that's what you're stirring. Right? So you're expecting this, the hold on part. What people don't realize, stirring is this, right? And you have to have depth perception. And guess what? My pinky and thumb articulate.
I just never put that on.
Well, I don't think anybody in the world would. People are just looking for, why is my kid walking? Why isn't my...
Right.
And that's why I go, what's up with the vision? And people go, why is it always about the vision? Well, because it comes in
we as parents want
vertical milestone.
Right.
She actually knows turn taking very well too, which is another mature skill.
She tries to give Brooks toys.
And she's working the room. Still, she really hasn't acknowledged me, let's say. Now she's off center, I'll wait. What? Now, even though it touched her, she didn't necessarily see it.
Not seeing it.
No. There she goes.
There. She sees it with that eye, then she immediately switches to her left eye.
Does that make more sense? Did you see that? You caught on the camera. So that would be a good one. But notice too, I didn't use my words. Typically she should see this. I had to get all the way to here and then still wait a bit. Even though she touched it with her hand, she still backed out.
So how do you work on it?
She's
Here,
like,
see? She'll actually
Forward more?
catch. She just caught that for a second.
she did, but she didn't stay with it. Turn it off and or turn it back and then go back and then try to, she heard it.
But that's what you want to do anyway, so.
Yeah. And do it slow until you can
I'm
see
gonna
it.
record this so I can remember.
There, she caught that. Or I was there forever with those beads.
Yeah.
Maybe her hair.
Just to get her used to.
It's not, it's the hair, yes, but also she's not used to using her side vision.
So you gotta be sneaky about that.
So
part.
see where she caught her balance? When a child loses balance by looking off to peripheral, the peripheral vision will shut down. A child will protect her balance first. So she's got it. So she right now,
So that's, see how far up that is?
I
Okay.
do.
You want to do it?
And you want it to be kind of more parallel with her ears.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And right now it's pretty far forward.
As
Both sides.
as you use the lights, she'll get it. Then you're gonna switch to a non-lighted thing,
Well, okay.
any kind of a toy, but
Okay.
not a big toy.
Okay.
You know.
And you hold it around eye level.
Yes.
So I've also noticed that when she will turn and look at something, but she will never just move her eyes and look at something.
Well, that's a higher skill.
Okay.
and like that's what I was saying. If she goes to do that and her balance is compromised, then she won't look. So you saw her before where she had to catch her balance. If I should be able to articulate my pelvis and look and look.
See how easily he goes over there?
There. There.
The more sophisticated it goes back, the more sophisticated your vision is.
Okay. So he's 8 months old. He's almost 9 months old.
Okay.
And I just went in for Convergence, which he has.
So
Do you
that-
think
do that
this
again.
is abnormal for his age? That
No.
he's not?
No, he's a boy, first of all, and he's got something in his hand. And no, I don't.
Now watch this. Watch her do, so do Convergence, do it again,
The animals.
and then I'm gonna float him and watch his Convergence. See how long he stays with it too?
Yeah.
Let's play and learn with the
Right
animals.
in the center.
Right, now watch this. I'm gonna float him and she's gonna do Convergence. So she has to catch his eyes.
That's right, he's not coming in.
So do it again when he's not being floated.
So what does that mean?
Hey, buddy. Now this is what you have to do in patching. You see how Diane has to catch his vision? It's what a lot of people just don't understand. You have to catch their vision to do it. A lot of people, they'll send me videos and they're literally like, you know what I mean? It seems like they never caught the child's vision and she just stays here for a little bit and catches it. So when you're patching, you really just want to make sure that you're catching the vision. Not so much work with the depth perception because you don't have any when you have one eye, but just the way she did that and caught the vision. So did you see the right eye still?
The right eye does not go in as much.
Yeah, he's distracted, but still, he still can do it. See?
His right eye does not go in as much.
So what I'm doing that is a child doesn't need to know where the floor is. If you do those kind of skills young, that's where they get into the, if they want high athletes and also, going into musicians because their eyes can work independently despite where they are. But most people fix a child. So now do Convergence. I'll pretend he's in a 5-point harness. And do you see how much more difficult that is for him when I lock down his pelvis for him to sleep?
You did good.
So again,
No.
without it.
done it a lot of times.
Yeah, that would probably be it for Convergence on the baby. If you need help with your child's vision, the first step is also with your pediatric ophthalmologist. But after that, then you need to know how to help your child move and see. We have offer a very good free course called Vision in Your Child. It actually has tips to a successful pediatric ophthalmologist appointment if you are going to your child's appointment. It's a free course. We have courses on patching. We have an excellent support group called Movement Lesson for Parents and Practitioners on Facebook. Movement Lesson offers you many different techniques, all the way into our cognitive vision course, which is a full-on course for you to learn how to evaluate your child and work with your child's needs. Thanks.